Okay, this one didn't print on my printer at home, so I'm just going to use the computer. So consider the following graph of f of x, draw a quick sketch of it on your page. So this, for some reason, carried over from a previous test, so hopefully that didn't confuse you too much, because I've drawn it for you. Okay, so it says mark and label a point A anywhere on the graph where f dash of x equals 0. So this is the derivative equals 0, and I think about that in terms of a graph as the slope being 0. So anywhere on here, I've got to think about where is my slope 0. Well, slope 0 occurs at the maximums and the minimums, which is up here and here. So I could have labelled this point A or this point A. B says mark and label a point B anywhere on the graph where the function itself, f of x equals 0, and the derivative is less than 0. So let's look at this first condition to start with. X of f of x is equal to 0. So that could happen here, here, or here. F of x is 0 at all of those points. So then the second condition is that my derivative is less than 0. So in other words, my derivative is not going this way. That's a positive slope. We're looking for a negative slope. Okay, this direction. So it can only be this one out of the three. This is increasing, it's a positive slope. This is increasing, it's a positive slope. This is my negative slope, which is my second condition. So B would have to be right there. Third question says, say whether f of x, f dash of x, and f double dash of x are 0, positive or negative at point D shown. So here's my point D. So let's work through these one by one. We're looking for all of these to see if they're 0. So is f of x equals 0? No. That would be there, there, or there in the previous question. So at D, f of x is not equal to 0. Is it positive or negative? Okay, it's below the x-axis, so it's going to be negative. Okay, so f of x, negative. Second one, derivative. Is it 0, positive, or negative? Okay, so in this case, it's not at one of the 0 points for my derivative, so it's not 0. Is it positive or negative? Well, it's increasing, isn't it? From here, if I go to the right with my x positions, my y increases. So it's an increasing function here, so my derivative will be positive. Second derivative, is it going to be 0, positive, or negative? Okay, 0 would be when there's an inflection point, and there's not an inflection point happening here. There is one here, but that's not at D. Is it positive or negative? So I've got to think about, do I have concave or convex? In this part of it, it's, if I think about what is it, how is it getting pulled upwards or downwards, and I look at it and go, well, it's actually increasing in this direction, isn't it? It's getting steeper and steeper and steeper. So the force is upwards, which means that we have a positive derivative, second derivative. Okay, so it's convex, which means it's a positive second derivative.